Hello everyone! Did you know the Flux 2 Klein model is also really good at adding a lot of fine detail to images? We know that some models are great for editing images or changing styles, like Kelvin models, but the textures can look rough. You often get that AI plastic feeling like the image you are watching right now. Now let's look at how this workflow can add a lot of realistic detail to this beautiful lady. Let's zoom in on her eyes. Now look at her lips. Even the hand has very natural detail. The skin texture on her body also looks great. This workflow can also upscale low-resolution images. Let me show you more examples. Now I'll explain how the workflow works. I'm demonstrating it on Running Hub, which is a ComfyUI cloud platform. It comes with the most common nodes and models already installed. If you want to learn more, there's a link in the video description. The main model I'm using is the FP8 version of Flux 2 Klein. If you don't have enough VRAM, you can also use the GGF versions. In this task, we are upscaling this image. Right now it's 667 by 667. You can upload any image size here. It can even be larger than 2048 by 2048. After the full upscale, the final size will become 4096 by 4096. The upscaling is split into two stages. In the first stage, we use Flux 2 Klein in the second node group. That takes the image up to 2048 by 2048. In the second stage, which is the third and the fourth groups, we use SeedVR2. That takes the image from 2048 to 4096. The Flux 2 Klein setup here is not the usual one, so let me show you another example first, so you can clearly see the difference. This is the standard setup recommended by the ComfyUI team. For sampling, you use the Sampler Custom Advanced node, and the key special node is Flux 2 Scheduler. This scheduler is designed specifically for Flux models. In my tests, for most situations, it works better than other schedulers when you use Flux 2 Klein. But there is one big issue. When you use this scheduler, the denoise strength stays at 1. You can't set it lower, like 0.8. And the denoise strength of 1 is too strong for upscaling because it changes the image too much. Let's look at the results so you can see what I mean. This is the original image. It's not sharp, but you can still see that her eyes are open. She's looking somewhere, maybe out the window. Now let's look at the upscaled result. Her eyes are closed, and she's looking at the cat. So with denoise set to 1, the image is not consistent enough with the original. That's why, in my workflow, I use the basic scheduler node instead. Then I set denoise strength to 0.8. Now check the results. You can see the direction of her eyes stays much closer to the original image. Alright, now let's go back to the workflow we started with. For my testing, the best denoise range is about 0.75 to 0.85, and 0.8 works well in most cases. For the scheduler, the best option is SGM uniform, so you can just leave it on the default. I also use a special sampler node, Sampler Euler Ancestral CFG++. With this sampler, you can usually get more detail and fewer artifacts. For the eta value, you can leave it at the maximum, which is 1. For S noise, if you want more detail, you can try 1.2, but be careful because 1.2 can sometimes create artifacts in the final image. The prompt is also very important. I tested a lot of different words and I found that these two phrases give the best results. In most cases, they create strong detail without causing problems. If the details become too strong, you can remove the words intricate details and keep only 8K. Now let's look at the image resize node. This node resizes the original image so the longest side becomes 2048. Most of the time, the image you upload will be smaller than 2048 on the longest side. But even if you upload something larger than that, this workflow can still add more detail if the image looks too soft. You can also add extra words to the prompt if you want. For example, you can add freckles or you can ask for smoother skin. Now let's look at the result from the first upscaling stage. It looks good. Alright, now we move to the second stage. You might recognize these next two groups because I introduced them before in a workflow that uses the Z-Image Turbo model to generate million megapixel images. I recommend that workflow too, and I'll put the link in the video description. Here's what these two groups do. They take the image from the previous stage and crop it into tiles. Then CTVR2 upscales each tile. After that, all the tiles are merged back together, and that becomes the final output image. CTVR2 has a lot of settings you can adjust. I'm not going to go through everyone here because the GitHub page explains each parameter. There is also a video tutorial. You can find the link below. If you don't want to go deeper, you can just keep the default settings. But there are two settings in the third group that you may want to change. Because the image coming from the previous stage is square, I set it to 4 rows and 4 columns. That gives us 16 tiles. If your image is not square, you can use 4 rows and 3 columns or 3 rows and 4 columns. The goal is simple. Try to make each tile around 256 by 256. Then CTVR2 can upscale each tile one by one. Alright, if you have questions about this workflow, feel free to leave a comment below. You can also join our community and download this workflow to support the channel. It can be easier to discuss it in the community because you can share screenshots or even videos. That's all for today. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.